Rock Island, one man is writing himself into the literary history books. 82-year-old Dave Lager writes books, and he's published 6 police procedural novels following the adventures of a young female deputy sheriff, Ro Delahanty. Oh, Delahanty. I knew I was going to mess that up. Oh, shoot. In the fictional Fort Armstrong County, Iowa. Earlier this month, Dave once again took home first place in the thriller suspense category for this series at the Chanticleer International Book Awards ceremony in Washington State. We are so excited to welcome Dave right here in studio with us. Dave, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for the invitation.
Why don't you introduce us to Ro, the star of your novels?
These are the first 4 books of 6 that are out. And these were those that were entered in the series. Rose Handel introduces the character. Here evil, losses, and secrets never end, and they are in sequence. Think of Godfather. Each book is complete in itself, and yet there is storylines that run throughout. So it is a series.
What kind of character is Ro?
I've always admired strong females. So think of her like Katniss Everdeen from Hunger Games or Sarah Connor from Terminator, a kind of never back down sort of female cop.
Okay. Well, you know, they have thousands of books that are entered in these awards every single year. What do you think it is about Ro and your stories that really connect to people?
I wish I knew. I love what I do, and it must have struck a chord. Yes, we went through multiple steps to go from the thousands of entries all the way down through the finalists, and then they selected the first place winners from those finalists. I don't know. She's a strong character. Maybe that's what did it.
Well, the books are set in fictional Fort Armstrong County, Iowa.
Correct.
It follows a deputy sheriff. I mean, I feel like a lot of crime novels follow FBI agents or CIA agents.
Exactly.
Why'd you go this route?
That's exactly why. Because there's plenty of books about big city PIs and FBI agents. I wanted her to be an ordinary street cop. So she's a deputy sheriff in this fictional Fort Armstrong County, which, by the way, if readers read this, they're going to find out is suspiciously like Scott County. Except I've taken lots of liberties with local place names, local history, to create fiction.
What was the one you were telling me about the arsenal?
Right. The original Fort Armstrong was on Arsenal Island. What I did was move it across the river to the Iowa shore, and then that became the reason for the name of the fictional county, Fort Armstrong County.
Okay. Well, you know, Dave, you have had a long career as a journalist and a magazine editor. You've worked a lot of different lives, or careers, I should say. When did you get into writing novels? When was your first novel written?
That's a long story. Over the years, I've basically made my living as a writer in one form or another, except it was always in the nonfiction area. Over the years, I would try a novel, I'd get 10, 12, 20 chapters done, and then life got in the way and it got put up on the shelf and forgotten. So it was, now, writing a novel, by the way, goes clear back to my 8th grade to be a real writer, because that's to me what a real writer was. And when I retired fully from employment about 12 years ago, I thought, now it's time to get serious about doing the novel. It took me 2 years to do Rose Handel. The others have become easier because Ro is taking over. She's telling me her story, and I'm just kind of writing it down.
So when's the next book out?
Probably in 2025. I'm writing number 7 now. And the editing process, the beta readers process, takes a good year or more. So my goal is to have it out in 2025.
You know, I'm so curious. When you talk about 7 books in a series, do you have the big arc in your head when you started book 1, or do you kind of like find it as you go?
Mostly I had an arc in mind.
Okay.
Okay. The details come as I'm actually writing it, which means I have to do a lot of planning to make sure that in book 4, I don't turn her into a right-hander when in book 1, she's a left-hander. In other words, consistency. I knew kind of where I wanted to take it all along, but the details come with each book.
Dave, before I let you go, where can people find these award-winning novels?
They are on Amazon, exclusively there, but also at the Bookworm boutique in Skeleton Key in Rock Island.
Oh,
And in fact, on Sunday, the 19th of May, I'm doing a book signing at that facility. So please welcome everybody to come and see me.
well, Dave, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for stopping by today.
You bet. I appreciate the invitation.
For you guys at home, if you want to learn even more about Dave's story or share this on your socials, you can find our full article over on our website underneath the As Seen on TV tab. And still ahead.